a spot in the U17 finals. On the line here in the 2023 Generation Adidas Cup, the matchup, Columbus Crew and FC Dallas. Hello, family. I'm James Hadnot. With you is Ricky Lopez-Espin. Thank you so much for joining us for this matchup. In the U17 ranks, we've had the U15s notch their tickets. Now, U17 are at the forefront. Columbus Crew and FC Dallas in this matchup. LAFC and Philadelphia Union a little bit later on the broadcast. And Ricky, both of these teams have fought so hard to get here, and now they have a chance to make it to the finals.
And you ask both of these organizations, they didn't come this far just to come this far. The ability to make history doesn't come very often, but what a fantastic opportunity for both of these sides to get themselves into the Generation Adidas Cup final. Familiar MLS foes, so there's an extra bit of motivation here today, James.
Two MLS sides that go way, way back to the beginning of the entire league. And here's Columbus and their lineup playing in a 4-3-3.
And it all comes down to that middle three. Wooten, Habrun, Baroka. How quickly can they play the game on their terms? Wooten's going to be the one that sits a bit more, so that gives the freedom to Habrun and Baroka to jump into that front three. And then you have Flannery, Alloway, and Otto Giampi. Very dynamic. For this Gus Saren side, very talented starting 11 for at home to write your name in the final.
And for MLS side and FC Dallas, also playing a 4-3-3. They have Jared Salazar, who had the game-winning goal last time out against Atlas, and they had a second scorer in Luke Schreiner as well.
And full of confidence, this FC Dallas side, Matias Asor is going to want his boys to get on the ball early and often. Garcia, Vargas, and Salazar. How quickly can those three get on the same page? Vargas is going to drop a little bit more just by the character. You have Salazar, dynamic to go in behind. Garcia making those darting runs. Get them the ball in and around that 18-yard box for Matias Asor. This side, if they're clicking, it's a whole different animal. What this Columbus Crew scene has ever seen.
We had Vargas score girls earlier in this tournament. Has not scored at the knockout stages, but Vargas can be a difference maker overall because of his size and his ability at the front of the lineup, whether it's in his hold-up play. And so he can be part of that pendulum that could really help things tick into the favor for FC Dallas.
And he's going to occupy the center back. So if you're King and Rogers, the two center backs for the Crew, what does that relationship look like? You don't want to get too tight to him because he can turn you like a top. Have about arm distance and have someone to cover underneath. Those two need to be spot on for the Crew. But for FC Dallas, it's all about managing emotions. The Columbus Crew has probably the favorites written around them. So how do you take down the giant? Play yourself into this game. You don't need to win this game in the first 10 minutes, James. Move the ball from left to right. Get the rhythm within the team. Then express yourself once you enter that final third.
And make sure to join the conversation. Hashtag GA Cup on Twitter. And somebody that we've been talking about this entire week has been Taha Habrun, number 38 for Columbus. He has scored, got the game winner last time out in the win versus NYCFC, and definitely someone to write home about.
And the reason why he's so highly touted, not only within this Columbus Crew organization, but also youth national team, whatever it may be, scouts all over the world looking at this man, the ability to jump into this game, knows when to keep it forward, when to draw back, put his sting on, but also has that finishing product. Goals, assists, you name it. Taha Habrun, if he's on the ball early and often for Gus Terrian, it's an easy day at the office for the Columbus Crew side.
FC Dallas as a team kneeling here in preparation for this matchup, and you see the camaraderie between this side, a gritty side from Dallas, rocking the red tops with navy blue shorts. Julian Eyestone, who plays for the next pro side, going to get the start in net for FC Dallas. And on the flip side, Stanislav Lopkis for Colorado. Our referee, Yair Campos, counting down until we can get this match started. An 85-degree day, but the wind has been blowing pretty profusely here at this point, so that's great for everyone here on the campus of IMG Academy in Bradenton. And we begin our first semifinal of the day here in the U17 side of the 2023 Generation Adidas Cup. Tries to receive it back, but it's given away near midfield. Now, Dallas working into their attacking end. Murphy tries to slip it in, has it back, out to Molina, clips it forward, and the ball just dribbles out. An early opportunity for Dallas.
Really bright start for FC Dallas. Really patient Murphy to just slip this ball into an ongoing Medina. Just so unlucky, unable to get any finishing touch. You can see just the movement from Vargas off the bottom of your screen. Unable to get clean contact. If you're Matias Osora, you have to be extremely pleased with how your boy have started here.
FC Dallas here after a 2-0 victory over Atlas. Goals from Jared Salazar and Luke Schreiner, the difference. And for Columbus, a win over NYCFC. After getting that goal in the second half, Columbus just closing things out, playing tight defense. NYCFC having a chance very late in the match, and some last-ditch defending helped Columbus get the win. Now the Crew out their first chance. Alloway racing forward, tries to slip it through, and is cleared away. Owen Prestis sends it forward, but it's stolen away by Murphy. Canizales clips it too far. It's past Vargas.
One thing we've seen from this Crew side is just how organized they are in their defensive shape. For FC Dallas, if you can play through the lines, you're going to have a lot of success with Salazar dropping in to a true number 10 position right off the shoulder of Wu and Maroka. Those are going to be the soft spots that you can hurt this Columbus Crew side in.
Ball sent long. Maroka the target. He's located. Runners coming in. The cross comes early, and Isaac right into his chest.
The ability to stretch the game from a deep line position. Maroka does extremely well. Realizing the space, when to exploit it, but also when to slow down the game. Him and Taha Broom, the center parts for Gus Tarrant. Those are the players that you want on the ball early and often, especially in your attacking phase of the game.
All sent out for the throw. We've seen high presses from both of these sides, so for FC Dallas and Columbus, nothing they haven't necessarily seen before. The FC Dallas side cheering on their older squad right now. So since you've seen that, you see it in training, how do you exercise and really work your way through if you're either side?
I think you just have to get complacent. If you have time and space on the ball, it's fantastic, but that doesn't mean take 2-3 extra touches, move the ball extremely quick. Every team wants to be possession-based. Every team wants to play on their terms. And no team wants to be chasing. If you can move the ball from left to right and open up gaps in either side, that's when you penetrate, and you penetrate extremely quickly.
Canizales, his throw doesn't make it to a teammate. Brun taking on two FC Dallas defenders, toppled over, and earns his team a free kick.
Special player for FC Dallas is going to be Charles, just going to sit right in front of that back line. So if he has the ability to jump and clog that middle channel against a Columbus Crew, that's something to keep an eye out on. You pull him out of position, play in between those lines, like we talked about. Maroka, Brun. This whole challenge in the center of the park here we have today.
Prestis joins the attack, clips it in, and it's headed away. Gabriel Brandon doing the dirty work for FC Dallas.
It's a fantastic little interchange here. Arno Giaffi drops back. no one has that secondary run to cover Prestes outside the left foot. Excuse me if I shall, Prestes. Brandon does extremely well to put it out for a corner kick. It just talks about Prestes, the ability to hit the ball with either side of his foot, in swing or out swing or whatever it may be. Terrific.
So, I hear Campos calming things down outside the 6. Owen Prestes ready to put it in. First corner for Columbus here early on in the semifinal. Eyestone punched it away. Vargas can't control it 1v1. And Tristan Brown sends it back.
Need to be very careful, Columbus Crew. FC Dallas likes to keep Vargas high. Big target number 9. So you always want to be +1 on your offensive set pieces.
Vargas, again, his size not helping him there. Call for the foul. "30-minute halves here in the semifinals. If either team was to make the finals, it would be 35 minutes in those halves. But here in the semifinals, 30 minutes each. There is no winner after full time. Then we'll go to kicks from the mark. The winner of this match will take on the winner of LAFC and Philadelphia. Our second matchup on the evening. Eyestone sends this one forward. Excellent from Garcia. Now Canizales with Garcia making the run, but the ball outruns him for a goal kick.
How comfortable Garcia is in tight spaces as this ball is glued to his foot. We're going to see a lot of this from FC Dallas. The darting runs from a deep blank position. Your Columbus Crew, how do you fare with that? A lot of communication needs to be had, passing on between Maroka, King, and Rogers. You don't want to let any FC Dallas play run freely into the attacking half.
And FC Dallas has had no shortage of center mids or attacking players that have been comfortable on the ball that have come through this tournament, whether it's Weston McKinney, Ricardo Pepe. Just a part of the DNA of FC Dallas.
Jair.
Great ball.
Brown on it now.
And this is a situation I'm talking about, James. As Charles gets caught out of position, there's a big gap of real estate for Maroka to just move into.
Schreiner does well. Now Vargas. FC Dallas pushing numbers forward. Salazar can't slither through. The game starting to open up a bit here, 10 minutes in.
Boy, that both of these teams want to play just to commit numbers forward in the attacking half of the field. Be extremely careful to have that balance, that you don't get caught out in transition moments. So pick and choose your times if you're an outside back.
Excellent idea. Maroka working back onto the ball. Now Brown sends it wide. Prestes has an option. Tries to truck his way through, but a stop sign put up by those in the red jerseys.
I think he's caught between two minds as he played into Giamfi or go on himself. You need to be extremely decisive once you get into that part of the field. You don't have time.
Similar situation. What does Precious decide here? Goes wide to Giamfi, and it's cleared away. The throw comes quickly. Prestis down the end line, sends it in. Near post run was there for Flannery. He earns his team a corner.
And as a striker, you always want to make that near post run. It does two things. It draws out an opposition center back for a secondary runner, or if you're able to get on the end of it, it's an easy tap in. As Flannery makes this darting run, Brandon does extremely well to stay like for him. Second time Brandon's been spot on positionally.
Ball sent to the back post this time and headed out for a goal kick. Eyestone goes quickly. Barely had a chance to blink. It's flicked on from Vargas. And again, lightning fast for FC Dallas, trying to catch Columbus slipping.
We talked about always having a +1 on your offensive set pieces for Columbus Crew. The target of Vargas, the threat that he possesses to bring players on with flick headers to drop the ball down to secondary runners. Something that FC Dallas is able to exploit.
Garcia makes the turn, takes the shots, and just skips wide. Not by much.
Columbus Crew at the moment having a very difficult time deal with this initial press from FC Dallas. It's interesting, it's only coming on goal kicks, staying high, not giving the ability to play out.
Maroka eyes up, quickly goes to Giamfi. Racing with Schreiner, and Schreiner wins the battle.
And once again, as you try to win the ball up the field, you get beat initially. Columbus Crew has a lot of green grass to work into. Maroka's very smart. Plays off the shoulder, gets the ball in the half turn, and when you have that man, the willingness to run, the pace that he possesses, Giamfi causes all sorts of problems.
Seems like this match is end to end.
It's interesting. U15 boys, a bit more cagey, not playing to lose, didn't want to overextend themselves or leave themselves vulnerable. So it's good football to see 14 minutes in.
Quickly, the ball comes in. Alloway clips it to the back post, headed on, and out.
It's the second time a Columbus Crew player gets freed at that back post. Needs to be a bit tighter for FC Dallas on set pieces.
For Columbus, defeated Club Leon 1-0, and of course got their win last time out versus NYCFC. They've had late goals in this tournament. They had a goal in the 60th minute. And again, the foul going on Vargas. Brown. Roby Vargas does well to come over and earn the ball for FC Dallas. So a free kick coming for Columbus. Vargas, who's trying to win all these battles in the air, being called for these fouls. It's something we'll have to watch as the match goes on. Maroka always has his eyes up, decides to go to press this. Adu Giamfi splitting defense. Had Maroka right there, but the touch just too long.
The fluidity that Gus Terrence wants his boys to play with. A little swivel of the hip there from Adu Giamfi. And again, it's Maroka making that deep lying run. Like you said, James, just a bit too much weight on it. But you love to see this. As Flannery darts across, the secondary movement comes from a center midfielder. Very difficult to pick up. Fortunate for FC Dallas, the pass is just off the mark.
Maroka whips it in. Man wide open. Eyestone with the stop. Christopher Rogers was streaking near that back post. And that's why Julian Eyestone is playing professional ball right now.
Once again, FC Dallas getting beat at that far post. It's that swooping run from Rogers that gets him free. He does everything right. Heads it down, heads it back to where it came from. That man, fantastic.
Another high ball. This one easily dealt with by FC Dallas. Flannery flying through. Now a shot and a goal. The danger was not completely taken away, and Anthony Alloway gives his team a 1-0 lead.
You want your big-time players to step up in big-time opportunities. As Roger gets free, he heads it down. Textbook save here from Eyestone. Can he do it once again? Because Columbus Crew started impacting the game, starting to get more runners. You can see the interchange between Alloway and Flannery. Big-time movement from Alloway. A darting run, clinical finish, head down, laces through the ball. There's nothing that Eyestone can do. 1-0 Columbus Crew in the 19th minute.
Mention how Columbus has scored their goals late throughout this tournament. Weren't wasting any time here. The lead taken off the boots of Anthony Alloway here in the 17th minute. The assist to Flannery, making the run, laying it off. Perfect weight on the ball.
Well, once again, James, it's just the relationship. As Flannery comes to feet, who's going to go in behind and who's going to challenge the shape of this FC Dallas side? Flannery jumping in just requires so much attention. Whether it's Brandon, whether it's Schreiner, they step off his line, they jump the gun, they're getting caught offside. Do I go to say that little bit of confusion gives Alloway the opportunity to ride the line, break into space, clinical finish off to the corner.
Murphy tripped up and earns a free kick for FC Dallas.
Now it's a challenge for FC Dallas. You're down 1-0 within 20 minutes. What does this reaction look like? Far too early to press the panic button or get desperate. Stay the course, stay your game plan. Honestly, maybe the more dangerous side within the first 20 minutes, playing direct into the feet of Vargas. Now, brilliant opportunity here as we see Molina stand over it.
Ashton Medina giving width, coming all the way to the left side of the 18. Molina sends it, looking for Vargas, but too heavy.
And it's the right idea there from Molina. Backspin, trying to have this thing hold up in the air. Vargas just unable to get on the end of it.
time for FC Dallas. Columbus Crew, one of the favorites coming in to this tournament. They've been real contenders this entire time, and just opportunity after opportunity have completely taken advantage of it. They won their group outright and now have the lead. Plenty of soccer to play on top of FC Dallas. FC Dallas in their group were second behind Seattle, went toe-to-toe with the Sounders, who were the reigning champs here at the Adidas Cup. And then completed the gauntlet to get to this point. So they're not going to be phased at all.
The Crew are having a lot of success with just the positioning of Maroko and Habrun. Both stay high. Wooten is the one that sits at the base of that triangle in the middle of the field for the Crew. Quick passes between those two to go out the other way, playing in those half pockets. That's when Columbus Crew is at their best and hurting FC Dallas.
Canizales sends it forward. Now Salazar. And working back was Prestis, doing well in defense. Cole Maroko is somebody that you've been impressed with this entire tournament. He's been at the controls for a lot of this, and his movement, his play, big early in this match as well.
I think he's just so special for Columbus Crew. The ability to win is hard in the challenge, but also how comfortable he is on the ball. That's the ability to break teams down with his passing, his movement, the vision. Very bright future for the midfielder of the Crew.
Throw-in coming for FC Dallas. Henry Canizales looking for options, elects to go all the way into the box. Ball comes back out to him. Now Jared Salazar sends it. Now Anthony Alloway runs it down. Vargas. His touch ends up out, so a throw-in deep in their own defensive territory for Columbus.
We've seen glimpses of what this FC Dallas side can be when they're at their best, whether it's Salazar Garcia coming in underneath Vargas, playing as that secondary forward, quick passes in terms of triangle shape, around the corners, combination play. We haven't seen it just nearly enough to break down this Columbus Crew side who's so stout in terms of the defensive positioning.
And a huge collision on the turf is Diego Garcia, helped up by Jair Campos.
You're looking for quality here from Molina. An in-swinger aiming from right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark. Give your big boys an opportunity to go up and get it.
Luke Schreiner just raised his hand. Molina plays it in, headed back. Murphy, now Schreiner. Murphy will put it on the turf, and FC Dallas has their goal. Right place, right time for the defender, Gabriel Brandon, and FC Dallas ties things up here late in the first half.
Set pieces, the way to claw yourself back into this game when you've been under pressure. I asked for quality and I got quality. As this ball pinballs around, Who was going to be the first to react? Who was going to be a fox in the box? Murphy doesn't get a clean strike on it, but the center back doesn't need a second invitation at the doorstep. Helps it into that far post.